Andrew, I suppose first off, what's Liam Ryan got to do to get through today to be able to be available for Saturday night?
Yeah, so he's got to get through main training. He's preparing to train now, and all signs are pointing towards him to be able to get through. So that's, we've got about a 30-minute session out here. So he's got to hit the right speeds, get the right markers, and then get through training.
How important is he going to be in what is, I know you say every game's winnable, but it's 17th first AD. He's a really important player in that forward line.
Yeah, he is. He's one of our best players in our team and our forward line in particular. So, every time we've got him, he helps us. So if he can play, great, and we hopefully can. But if not, we'll find another way.
Will Jack Graham be out on track today?
No, he won't. We've given Jack a few days away.
So that was a club decision, was it?
Yeah, in conjunction with Jack. Yeah.
Has he stayed in South Australia?
Yeah, he's just staying with some family for a little bit of time.
How is he doing at the moment mentally after the whole ordeal, I suppose?
Yeah, look, he's going okay. It's a challenging time for him and other people as well within our organisation and society. So, as we challenge Jack's behaviour, but we'll support the person.
Last game against the Tigers was obviously quite a close one. Probably feels a little bit like it got away. What is different now from that first clash? It seems like the group has matured a lot since then.
Yeah, it's watching back that game during this week, we're certainly playing, I think, better now than we were then. I know the results haven't gone our way, but there's some things in our game that we're learning every week and we're getting better at. We haven't shown the edit to Grossi yet this week, but we might just show him. Spark it up at training this week. But we feel like our game's improving, and same with Tigers. They're still an experienced team. They've got a lot of experienced players in their side still. So we can't wait for Saturday night and hope a big showing of our crowd turn up.
Tom Gross get a shot at redemption?
Yeah, we'll work through training today. So he was obviously an emergency last week. So we'll see how we end up this week.
Spoken, Andrew, about the first quarters at Optus and that being an issue. Have you looked into it and found out anything you could do differently?
We spoke about it definitely last week. Obviously, we started last week pretty well, but Optus has been a bit of a challenge. So, a lot of it's just addressing it, being really sharp in our warm-up pre-game, and then once that ball's bounced, we need to be ready to play. So, I'm confident we'll get a better response this week.
Do you expect it to be hot early? I guess opposition teams always talk about shutting the crowd out early. Do you expect that first quarter to be pretty big?
Oh, no doubt. I think that's what every team talks about when they travel interstate. We'll have majority supporters there in the crowd, so they'll talk about silence in the crowd, and we talk about bringing the crowd to life. So, expect it will be hot early.
I know you've got Tim around the mark to possibly come back this week. If he does, would it likely be in a midfield role?
Look, it's potential, yeah. So he played midfield in the game last week in the Waffle for the whole game. Tim's played a lot of footy as a midfielder, so it's he stepped back into it really comfortably, and then we're just going to have to pick our mix and get our balance right in our midfield. It's losing Jack out of that midfield, we lose sort of 150 games of experience of midfield time, and it wasn't easy to replace. So it's something we're working through, and we'll see where that lands after training today.
The conversation you had around with Tim about it, a bit of mixed reaction to it. Are you positive though about those kind of conversations where a player wants to go back and get form and wants to be part of a certain area and improve?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think it's an acknowledgement of things aren't going the way we both want at the moment. So to help our team, we need to get Tim back in form, and that's part of what our discussion was. And he went back and played a strong game.
There's a bit of a theory now around Harley that it's about not having experienced players in the midfield that he can lean on. Firstly, do you agree with that? And secondly, could Tim Kelly help in that area?
I think Yowie is really significant for Harley. What Yowie did for Harley last year, we just haven't had him this year. Yowie's an incredibly experienced contest beast. Takes a bit of the pressure off Harley in that space for sure. So we've missed Yowie without question, and I think Tim can help in that space for sure, just like Jack has throughout times this year.
So you're saying that maybe Harley should look back to last year when he played against Melbourne, those sort of games, that sort of freedom that he played with rather than getting caught up in the game. Are they the conversations you have, or who talks to him about that?
Yeah, so me and his coaches and his teammates, we all talk to him, and we're all working really hard behind closed doors. We're not playing everything out publicly with Harley, but I think you've got to remember, he's actually last 6 or 8 weeks been pretty strong. I know there's been some things that have been a bit of a distraction and take away a little bit from his game, and we acknowledge that, and he acknowledged that last week, but he's actually playing some pretty strong football at the moment.
Do the fines and the noise out of that game, do they bother?
They certainly bother him in the hip pocket. Yeah, for sure. He's he's a 20-year-old. So it's massive, it's significant. We don't want any of our players to be out of pocket, but we need to make sure that those actions line up so we're not.
Will he be a better player because of this, do you think, without not having the experienced blokes around, having a step? I saw he actually spoke in the huddle, which I thought was quite remarkable for a 20-year-old. It's a good sign.
It's a good pickup, Barry. I think it's really significant, and I've got no doubt he's going to be a better player for what he's been through this year. It's been a challenging year for him and us, and he's a young man that is really driven to help this group move forward. So, he's in a good spot, working hard in his game, and he'll be better for it.
Are there any issues with the way that he's umpired from your perspective?
Look, not significantly. I think that at the end of the day, I expect every player to be umpired the same. Understanding Harley will draw more attention because often at stoppage someone's going to him. So we just got to get the balance right of what he does with his actions and his craft around that space.
I understand a few weeks ago, from memory, you said that you're looking to finish this season the way you want to start next season. How much for you do you eye now next year as well when you're doing not only selection but game style and that?
I think game style is always evolving, so it's not so much about looking to next year. It's just about keeping up with the game and what's suited to us. And selection, I'll keep talking about. We'll just keep picking the best team available to win. So that won't have anything to do with future or anything like that. It will just be picking the best team to win.
So when you look towards the future, then obviously a big piece of that could be Oscar Allen. There's obviously speculation still around him. Have you spoken to him about that recently, and do you sort of want an answer about his future sooner rather than later?
Yeah, so I speak to Oz every week. He's captain of our footy club, so we're really in clear, constant conversations, in discussion still about his future. We understand that it's a story, but he's really invested. He's helping us every week here, although he can't play. He's invested in our meetings and looking to help us as much as he can.
So you're confident he'll be next year?
Yeah, at this stage we are. Yep.
Because there's sort of an industry-wide belief that he'll be at Brisbane next year. It's what everyone sort of says. Does that annoy you at all then?
Look, I completely understand the landscape of this AFL industry now. So Oscar's a free agent. That's how this works. So I understand there's always going to be commentary around it, and we're really open in our conversations with Oscar.
And Yowie, coach, what do you do there? Do you just keep going week by week, or you've already made a call, or?
Yeah, we're just going to keep progressing him as much as we can. We're still working out a few answers, so hopefully we get some clarity on that soon. But his plan at the moment is just to keep progressing, and if he makes it this year, great. If he doesn't, we're going to set him up for next year.
Really strong start to last week's game. Obviously dropped off a little bit in that final quarter. What are you doing this week to make sure that you can actually hold it out for the full game this week? Yeah,
look, it's been a little bit of a theme of ours. It comes a little bit with having a young side, no doubt, but we just got to try and stay in the game and hang in for as long as we can. It's not going to be anything different that we try and do in that last quarter. It's about just being able to maintain for longer, and clarity of role and execution is all we're looking for.
What actually is it? Is it a fitness thing? Is it a maturity thing? What do you think kind of falls away?
Look, I think it's a bit of everything. I think it's like at the moment we're in positions to win late in game, and we're just probably trying to do a little bit too much, and that's understandable. They're so desperate to win our team for our supporters and our members and for themselves. Like I get it, but a lot of it is just it'll come down to maturity and owning those moments and getting those moments right late in games.
You've got 3 players on your list that are yet to play AFL. Luke McGregor's probably the obvious one that's in a bit of form at the moment. How close is he to being able to push through? Yeah, so we're speaking to Luca regularly. He's improving his footy every week, and I've had conversations with him that if he plays this year, great. If he doesn't, that's okay. He's going to have a long career at our footy club, and we think he's going to be a great player. So he'll continue to work hard at his game, and if a spot comes up this year, great.
Boys are obviously up and about. Is there a bit of extra pep in the step heading into this game?
I don't think so. I think it's, like, to be honest, our mood's been really strong and consistent the whole time, which might sound like a surprise considering we've had one win, but it has been really consistent, and we get to play Saturday night in front of our crowd, so they should be excited.
Is that a product, do you think, of having these closer games and actually feeling like maybe things are starting to go their way a little bit?
I think so. I think that there's, the most fueled you can be in a belief sense is wins, but there's a lot of other evidence we're getting that we are improving. So, we feel like we're getting better, and we're in a real rush to get better, and I think the players are feeling that too. So we'll just continue on that path.